Hi, today I want to show you my process for using Deep Sky Stacker to stack and stretch the pictures that I took the other night. So first we're going to open up our files, and these are all fit files. They're of the Sol Nebula that I shot the other night on a rare clear night, 300-second exposures. And I've got 24 of them, 24, so let's click open there. And now we're going to add some dark files. Got to be the same exposure, 300 seconds, and whoops. Let's throw those in. I've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 darks that I took. And then I don't have any flats, but I do have some biases, so we're going to throw some of those in there too. Might as well do an equal number. They're all the same anyhow. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now the next thing we do is we click check all right over here. Puts a check in them, and then we'll register check pictures. And I'm only doing 90% of the pictures because I just haven't gone through to see what they really look like. I'm just using the settings that they gave me with this, and I'll click OK. And I've set it up so that it will stack after it registers these. So I'm just going to let it do everything it wants to do automatically and forget about it. So I'll click OK again. And it's going through here. It'll take a minute or so. But it's amazingly fast compared to other programs out there that are meant to stack. And with the basic settings, you don't have to change anything. You just let it go to down. Now, I should have added some flats. I just didn't have the time to get out there with a light and t-shirt to take any. I should build myself a library. But my optics are fairly clean, so I don't expect to see any dust bunnies. Let's see. So this is in real time. You'll see how quick it goes. It's really amazing how much this program will accomplish all by itself. It does give the PC a workout. I can hear the fan on my laptop firing up as the CPU gets hot, trying to process all this. I don't know what it means, but I see 12 processors used. So now it's figuring out all the offsets, removing hot pixels, cold pixels. This was shot with an Explore Scientific telescope, 127 triplet, with a ZWO 294 color camera on it, and it was guided, of course, to make 300-second exposures. You have to be. It's taken somewhere the beginning of November 2020. I think the 10th. I'm not sure. And it's give or take 2 hours worth of lights at the Sol Nebula. Viewing conditions were pretty fair that night. Not wonderful, but 8 out of 10. So here we go. It's stacked everything. And we have this big black picture. We've got a couple of dots there. And we see this curve. That's where our light's going to be. And you see this RGB indicator right here. And that you want to basically try to move over to right where the curve goes up. I know it sounds simplistic, but just watch and you'll see what I do. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to link all the settings right here. And then I'm going to grab the right side of this and I'm going to drag it to the left. And you see that indicator here, just move over just a scotch. And I'll apply that. And right now you won't see too much. You see right here, it just got a little bit, just a touch lighter. I'm going to do that again. because it's reset this. So I'll drag it over towards the center. And you can see this moving over to the right on your histogram. Hit apply, and it just got a little brighter right here. Do it again. You see these indicators have moved back to the right. Doesn't really matter which one I drag, but I'm going to drag it. And I don't really want to, pull it way over. I found that just little bites are bigger than great big gulps. And it gives you a idea of what's going on. Now you're starting to see some of the nebulosity come out here, which is really amazing since we started with a totally black picture. And we'll pull it over and apply again, and we'll just continue doing this. And you can see this giant nebula start to appear on your screen. You can also see this getting wider and starting to flatten. So click apply, and now it's starting to come out. And that's about, see where it is now? It's right in the middle here. That's about where I want it for the moment. And all of a sudden, here we get the Sol Nebula. Now, there's other buttons here at the top. We'll forget about this one right now. Let's move on to saturation. Saturation right now, it's at 0. Let's show you what it looks like at 20%, okay? Oh, come on. There you go. We'll click apply, and it's going to be bright red. Poof. So we've got, oh, I forgot to mention, I got the L Extreme filter on this. So it's going to pick out all the hydrogen alpha and oxygen. And the oxygen on the outside is going to indicate by blue where the hydrogen is going to be the reddish color. But that's your nebula. That's what it's made of. So saturation at 20%, why not? Let's just leave it there for right now. And I'll show you some other tricks. Now we go to luminance. And this shows you your highlights, your midtones, and darkness. Midtones is the one that's you'll see the effect most on this. So by raising this lower one right here, it's going to change where this line is, okay? So right now it shows all of this stuff, all of these RGBs intersecting with this line on the histogram. If I pull this to the right, it's dropping this out of the light area. You're going to look at this line right here as where the light's sitting, okay? So if I move that way over to the right, watch this, I'll apply it, and boom, all the lightness comes out right out of this. So that's a little extreme for me, and you're missing a lot of the oxygen. So I'm going to drag it back to the left, and you can see it starting to intersect, and that's a sweet spot right in there. I'm going to apply that. The other way you can do it is you can hit this left undo last arrow, and that'll bring you back to where you were. But I'm happy with this. Now, if you use this top indicator or slider on the midtone, watch what's going to happen. And you move that to the left, it's going to, I believe, give you more not detail, but yeah, it'll bring out more light, I guess, or luminosity. I don't have the right word for that, but the more further you move it to the right, it'll change the contrast. Move it to the right, and this is what happens. It looks muddier. So that's what you can do with the midtones, and that's where you're going to see most of the effect. The highlights, that's going to be just your stars. If you want them to look one way, raise it that way, and it blows them right out. You see how the color is blown out? That's way too much on the highlights. And you can see your curve here change every time you move these. So keep an eye on that histogram. I'm going to bring that back to where it was. The darkness, I usually end up just dragging this all the way over because I like that darkness to be quick rise on the histogram, and sometimes you'll see it, sometimes you won't. Right now you can see right over there, right over here, it gave a little bit more contrast. The top one doesn't seem to make all that much difference. We'll click that and it takes some of it away, but I like that. I like the contrast that it jumps. So you can leave it at that. What I would do is I'd probably drag it back there and apply it. Yeah, see, we lost a lot, but you lose the oxygen, but you gain all this detail in the hydrogen bands, which is really cool. Oops, too much. If you're not spot on that indicator, it tries to jump 10 places. There, I'm going to bring that back. The other way you can manipulate this, you go back to the RGB levels here, and you can grab the dark end and drag that. You can see that everything has shifted to the darker side. So applying that, and that will add more dark to this overall picture. If you unlink these settings, you can change everything individually. If you want to add more blue, have more of a bluish tinge, you can grab just the blue and apply that, and all of a sudden blue starts being added in there. If you want more red, you can drag just the red, and you can see the red moving down here on the histogram. So always keep your eye on the histogram, see what's going on. I don't like that red. I'll take it away and apply it, and I can darken that red if I want. Drag it back towards dark so that the dominant colors are going to be green and blue. And it's doing that. There is no green in space, so I can drag that over a little bit, see what that looks like. Probably, oh, ugly, ugly purple. So I made a big mistake there. To get out of that, hit this back arrow to reset it. Undo the last, and there you go. So when you're happy with this, you go down here and save the picture to whatever you want to call it, soul or whatever, and that's pretty much it. You've saved it, and you can take this picture and it'll be stored as a TIFF. What I do at that point is I take it and I throw it into Photoshop, and we go at it with that for a while. All this can be accomplished probably 100% better with PixInsight, but I'm not a PixInsight ace. I wish I was. I just haven't had the the practice working with that, where I can go out tonight and take a bunch of shots and process them in the morning so I can pop them up on Facebook or show my friends or do whatever, or get a basic idea of what I've taken pictures of. So anyhow, I hope this has all been helpful. If you have any questions, please leave me a note. All right, clear skies. Bye-bye now.